Welcome back, everybody, to the deep dive. This time, we're going to be diving into something pretty ambitious, a proposed system called,
Yeah,
which is pronounced Sampurna Samadhan,
right. Thanks for that.
meaning complete solution, and well, that's the goal.
A complete solution to human suffering, no less.
Old.
Yeah, and we're not just talking hypotheticals here. This deep dive is based on an ebook excerpt.
In Hindi,
That's right, written in Hindi, that lays out a very specific,
basic premise.
which is,
Human life is inevitably a mix of happiness or sukh.
and suffering, dukkha.
Right, you got it.
It's like yin and yang.
Exactly. And they argue that all the systems we've built, with their focus on money, competition, individual achievement, they're actually making this problem worse.
It's an interesting thought, isn't it?
It is.
Because we kind of assume that, like, oh, we're progressing, things are getting better.
But are they really?
Yeah, are we actually happier? I mean, think about your own life for a minute. Plan for how this system could actually work.
It gets into the nitty-gritty.
It really does. And the minds behind it are
Premjeet Serohi,
Premjeet Serohi, yeah, the founder of,
Universal Life Management, or ULM for short.
and his co-founder, Mukunpai Patel. Serohi is described as this kind of philosopher, visionary guy.
And Patel brings years of experience in social work to the table.
So they're clearly deeply concerned about the state of the world and think they might have a way to fix it.
Absolutely. And they start with a really job creation, and the whole system gets stuck.
It's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah, exactly. A cycle of scarcity.
I kind of imagine it like a restaurant with like an amazing chef.
Outcome-star chef.
Yeah. But like only a handful of tables.
Oh, I see.
So they could be serving way more happy customers, but their potential is limited.
By the number of people who can actually afford to eat there.
Exactly. And in this case, it's the capacity of people to actually afford what the economy is producing.
That's a great analogy.
So what's the solution then?
Yeah,
Do you have enough money to just buy whatever you want, do whatever you want?
not even close.
Right. Most people don't. And this ebook argues that this gap,
Between what we want and what we can actually afford.
is actually holding back the entire economy.
You know, when I first read that, I was like, wait a minute, isn't that how it's supposed to work?
Right.
But their argument is that because so many people lack purchasing power, there's this limit on demand, which then limits production and system, where instead of money, there's this centralized way of, tracking everybody's needs and desires.
So like Big Brother is watching you kind of thing.
Well, they don't frame it that way, but
Yeah.
there is that element of like a central authority.
Okay.
But the idea is that everyone would have access to the goods and services they need to live,
A good life.
a fulfilling life.
A fulfilling life. Okay. But how do you even begin to figure out what people need? I mean, everybody's different,
Right. And
according to these guys.
they call it Sampurna Samadhan. And it proposes something pretty radical.
Hit me with it.
A world without money
What?
and without markets.
No money at all. I mean, I think a lot of our listeners are just like, huh.
Yeah, it's a huge shift, no doubt.
I mean, we're so used to the idea of earning money to buy the things we need.
It's like the fundamental basis of our society.
It is.
But the ebook acknowledges this. It acknowledges that it's a huge shift. They envision into that.
So instead of getting a paycheck every month, I'd be like, placing requests.
Yeah, it'd be more like, I need food, housing, healthcare, and then the system just provides it.
Whoa.
Of course, everyone would contribute by working.
Right, because somebody's got to grow the food and build the houses.
Exactly. So work would be mandatory for adults.
Like everybody.
Well, between the ages of 25 and 50.
Okay.
But the key is that you get to choose a job that actually aligns with your interests and skills, not just doing whatever pays the bills.
So it's not like everybody's going to be stuck doing jobs they hate.
That's the idea.
Okay, but then that raises the question of how do you define a fulfilling life in this system?
That's a big one.
Because without money as like, a measure of success,
Yeah.
what does happiness even mean?
That's a crucial point, and that's where we'll pick things up next time.
All right, cliffhanger.
Got to keep people coming back for more.
That's right. We'll see you soon for part 2 of this deep dive into Sampurna Samadhan.